Arbeit, Macht, Frei. Auschwitz, May 31st, 1944. The huge metal letters loom high and dark above the Gothic gate like a sinister crown. Work sets you free. What does that mean? Could Mommy have been right? Could it be that we would work and be treated like human beings? Given food and proper lodgings? But free? What do they mean by that? Would they give us even freedom if we worked? The immense portals of the gate open, and we march through into an enclosure with tall wire fences. Very tall, plain wire fences flanked on both sides by a lower fence of barbed wire. It is rapidly growing lighter and colder, much colder. The eerie light of the watchtowers is growing dimmer. When would we get our things? I need my coat. We keep on marching. We keep my marching. On and on. Past rows of barracks, long flat buildings on both sides of the pebble-strewn road lined with barbed wire. It is a road without an end. It stretches far into the fog. And we keep my marching. Motorcycles roar past. SS officers, dogs, incessant barking. Marscheren! Marscheren! Los! Los! We keep marching. On and on. It is bitter cold. Clusters of people linger on both sides of the road beyond the fence. Are they men or women? Shorn heads, gray dresses. They run to the fence and stare blank stares. The blank stares of the insane. They have the appearance of the mentally ill. Impersonal. This is probably an asylum for the mentally ill. Poor souls. The road ends. Our silent, rapid, haunted march ends at the entrance of a gray, flat building. By fives, we are ordered to file through the entrance. Inside, a long, narrow room, a very low ceiling. Inside, shocking noise. Shouts, screams. Loud, unintelligible screams. Ruha! Quiet. A tall, husky blonde in SS uniform shouts, Ruhe! Wer versteht Deutsch? Deutsch! Wer versteht Deutsch? Austreten! Who understands German? Step forward. I step forward. I understand German. A few other girls also step forward. They probably also understand German. Tell them! The big SS woman roars. She tosses a chair toward me. Stand on this and tell them to keep quiet at once. I want quiet this minute. Next minute, they will be shot. I attempt to shout above the din. And other interpreters, they too shout as loudly as they can. The low ceiling compresses the sounds. The noise is like a roaring tidal wave hurling back and forth, stunning us senseless. Ruhe! The buxom SS woman leans forward and cracks her whip into the crowd. As if on cue, the row of SS soldiers lining the walls step forward and begin cracking their whips, snapping into faces. A sharp pain slashes my left cheekbone. I feel a firm welt rise across my face. Why? I'm the interpreter. Quickly, I step down and melt into the crowd. Perhaps it is safer there. Within seconds, it becomes quiet. Sich auskleiden! Alles herunter! Everyone undress. Everything off. Los! The room is swarming with SS men. Get undressed? Right here? In front of the men? No one moves. Didn't you hear? Take off your clothes. All your clothes. I feel the slap of the whip on my shoulders and meet a young SS soldier's glaring eyes. Hurry! Strip fast! You'll be shot. In 5 minutes, anyone with clothes on will be shot. I look at Mommy, and she nods. Let's get undressed. I stare directly ahead as I take off my clothes. I'm afraid. By not looking at anyone, I hope no one will see me. I've never seen my mother in the nude. How awful it must be for her. I hesitate before moving my bra. My breasts are 2 growing buds, taut and sensitive. I can't have anyone see them. I decide to leave my bra on. Just then a shot rings out. The charge is ear-shattering. Several women begin to scream, and others weep. I quickly take my bra off. It is chilly and frightening. Clothes lie in mounds in the cement floor. We are herded over 1,000 shivering, humiliated, nude bodies into the next hall, even chillier, darker, even barer and more foreboding. Los! Schneller! Blutlampen! Move! Faster! Idiotic whores! We are lined up, and several young women in gray dresses start shaving our hair, on our heads, under our arms, and in the pubic area. My long, thick braids remain attached while the shaving machine shears my scalp. The pain of the heavy braid tugging mercilessly at the yet unshaven roots brings tears to my eyes. I whisper a silent prayer for the shaving to be done quickly, for this unexpected torture to be over soon. As my blonde tresses lie on the ground, the husky, indifferent hair butcher remarks, "A heap of gold." With a shudder, I remember the scene at the selection, the SS officer admiring my golden hair, the separation from Aunt Serena. Where was she now? Was her hair shorn off as well? Did she also have to strip naked? Was she very frightened? Poor darling Aunt Serena, where was she now? Had my hair been shorn off before the selection, we would be together with her now. We would not have been separated. It was because of my blonde braids that Mommy and I were sent to the other side. Poor darling, if only we could have stayed together. The shaving of hair has a startling effect. The absence of hair transforms individual women into like bodies, indistinguishable. Age melts away. Other personal differences melt away. Facial expressions disappear. In their place, a blank, senseless stare emerges on the 1,000 faces of one naked, unappealing body. In a matter of minutes, even the physical aspect of our numbers seem reduced. There is less of a substance to our dimensions. We become a monolithic mass, inconsequential. The shaving of hair has another curious effect. A burden is lifted, the burden of individuality, the burden of associations, of identity, the burden of the recent past. Girls who had continually wept since the separation from parents, sisters, and brothers now keep giggling at their friends' strange appearances, shorn heads, nude bodies, faceless faces. Some shriek with laughter. Others begin calling out the names of friends to see if they can recognize them now. When response comes from completely transformed bodies, recognition is loud, hysterical. Embraces are wild, noisy. Disbelief is shrieked, screamed, gesticulated. Some girls bury their faces in their palms and roll on the ground, howling. Was ist los? What's the matter? A few cracks of the SS whip, and order is restored. I look for Mommy. I find her easily. The hair cropping has not changed her for me. I've been used to seeing her in her kerchiefs, every bit of hair carefully tucked away. Avoiding a glance at her body, I marvel at the beauty of her face. With all accessories gone, her perfect features are even more striking. Her high forehead, large blue eyes, classic nose, shapely lips, and elegant cheekbones are more evident than ever. She does not recognize me as I stand before her. Then, a sudden smile of recognition. "Ellie, it's you! You look just like Bubby! Strange, I've never seen the resemblance before. What a boyish face! They cut off your beautiful braids." "It's nothing. Hair can grow. With God's help." We are herded en masse into the next hall. I shriek with sudden shock as a cold torrent of water gushes unexpectedly from openings in the ceiling. The mass of wet, nude bodies crushes about me in a mad, splattering wave. In a few minutes it is over, and I am carried along in the midst of the wet mass to another hall. Gray, sack-like dresses are shoved at us, and we are ordered with shouts of "Los, Blutschwein!" to put them on over wet, shivering bodies. The epithet "Blutlampen, idiotic whores" is now downgraded to "Blutschwein, idiotic swine." More despicable. And it is upgraded only occasionally to "Bluthund, idiotic dogs." Easier to handle. Everyone has to pick a pair of shoes from an enormous shoe pile. Los! Los! Take a pair. Size makes no difference. As we emerge from the other end of the building and line up quickly in rows of 5, shivering wet in shapeless gray sacks with heads clean shaven, the idea strikes me. The strange creatures we saw as we entered the camp, the shaven, gray-cloaked bunch who ran to the barbed wire fence to stare at us, we are them. We look exactly like them. Same bodies, same dresses, same blank stares. They too must have arrived from home recently. They too were ripe women and young girls, bewildered and bruised. They too longed for dignity and compassion, and they too were transformed into figures of contempt instead. The Zahlapel lasts about 3 hours. This word, meaning roll call, becomes the dread and the lifestyle of Auschwitz. Twice daily we are lined up by 5s in order to be counted. At 3 a.m. we would line up with lightning speed and then stand stiffly and silently for 3 or 4 hours until the official SS staff shows up to count our heads. The SS officer taps the heads of the first line and counts in multiples of 5. The actual count is accomplished in a few minutes. The stiff, silent wait on the evening Zahlapel lasts from 5 to 9. The lineup has to be mastered in seconds in order to wait to stand for hours, waiting. It is inconceivable to me that the mad rush inside would culminate in an interminable wait outside. Why are our wet, traumatized bodies wearing only a single cotton cloak hurled out into the cold for an endless, senseless wait? Finally, a smartly stepping, brisk German military staff member appears. With the tip of an authoritarian stick on the shaven head of the first girl in every row of 5, we are initiated into the camp. We have become members of an exclusive club, inmates of Auschwitz.